The thing that we learned about mud puppies was they had more DNA in each cell than any other kind of vertebrate animal. And so we have to suppose that these are thermal isozymes so that they can run their cells at each of the temperatures. And they can swim as fast at 0 degrees as they do in the summer here when it's 32 degrees. They're the only amphibian that actually gets out and puts on condition by feeding during the winter.
The Mudpuppy is an amazing kind of salamander, a totally surprising creature. And it's not seen very often because they're often in deeper water, muddier places. They like to be in hiding because they're very soft and they can swim in the current, but most of the time they're walking and it's not very fast. We have an opportunity to see them here that is very rare. This situation with the bare bedrock and having discovered them with the help of the community in this place where they are active at night. In the summertime, they're under the rocks and they're safe. But in the winter, they venture out. They're most active then, and they breed in the early winter.
So cold. Oh, I can't feel my hands.
Can you wear like a gnome hat?
Salamanders mate by the male putting down a little clump of sperm, then enticing the female to come pick it up with her vent. It indicates for mud puppies, they do this in December or November. It's one of these things that nobody's actually seen. The female lays the eggs in May, so she goes out into the middle of the stream, finds the biggest, flattest rock with the nicest cavity under it, and lays the eggs on the roof of the cavity on the ceiling. She stays with them until August. She just eats everything that comes under the rock to go after her eggs. Around August, they hatch and these little 1-inch long ivory colored baby salamanders drop down to the floor of the cavity, get their act together, live in the gravel, disappear from being able to be studied. They're doing whatever they do. They have a striped color pattern of 2 stripes down the side of the body. They lose that at about 10 centimeters. But the main life history thing that they do is that they stay under rocks and eat little invertebrates and whatever they can through the summer. They feed by engulfing, just open their mouth really fast and suck the prey item in. What we see them eating is the things that they've been able to swallow, which is tadpoles, frogs, and little crayfish they're able to feed on. So many species that are slowed down by the winter.
They love touching something. They don't mind touching each other. They probably are social, but in some way that we aren't aware of. And when you hold them, they seem to enjoy the touch. They're so charming and lovable that I don't want them to be taken advantage of. They're vulnerable to predators like otters. Now, otters are probably their only significant predator, at least here, because otters are feeding in the winter. The other enemies of mud puppies are not here in the winter. Water snakes, great blue herons, pike. So they're happily foraging, and in the summer, they go under the stones, so you don't see them. And since we've found them, and we know we can see them at night in the winter with big lights, flashlights, that people that aren't careful or ethical could take advantage of them. And they could collect them, they could get into the pet trade, they could be eaten. They're long-lived, so they can live to be 30 years old. And there are never too many mud puppies